Battle Dog Dumbbell back again with another video, just like I promised. So in the last video, I went over the ASVAB. Now today, I'm going to talk to you about MEPS. What does MEPS stand for and what is it? MEPS stands for the Military Entrance Processing Station. Now what MEPS is, it's basically, number one, usually you're going to take the ASVAB while you're at MEPS. You're also going to get a very in-depth physical while you are at MEPS. MEPS is just simply one of the things you got to check off your list in order to enlist. It does kind of suck. You're going to hear a lot of MEPS horror stories. However, they kind of exaggerate it a little bit. It's not that bad. But as always, I brought my handy dandy notebook and we're going to go over some key points to help you guys better understand what MEPS truly is and what you can expect while you're there. So again, you're more than likely going to take your ASVAB while you're at MEPS. It's more than likely going to be on a computer. So you're going to get there, you're going to put most of your belongings into a locker, like your cell phone. It's going to be put into a locker. And then it's usually going to be a 2-day process. So it's going to be Friday and Saturday. You're going to spend up at the MEPS. Friday evening, then all day Saturday, and then you'll leave. Now you're going to take your ASVAB. That's going to be a few hours, and then what they're going to do is once you're done with your ASVAB on usually Friday night, they're going to put you into a shuttle unless you drove there. Either your recruiter is going to drive you, or you're going to drive yourself. Usually the recruiter is long gone by then. They kind of just drop you off, you take your test, and then they're going to have a courtesy shuttle from a local hotel come and get you. Now it's going to be completely free, so don't worry about any of that. The hotel is going to be free. They have a contract with MEPS, so none of that is coming out of your pocket. So the next day, Saturday morning, you've already taken your ASVAB. They've already given you your results. Usually your recruiter will have you text or call them, maybe take a picture of the results and send it to them. That helps them on the back end get some balls rolling to see maybe what jobs you're going to qualify for and that kind of stuff. So Saturday morning is when you're really going to get your physical, or at least this is for most people. This is when they'll get their physical. Now it's pretty in-depth. It's going to be everything from a vision test to an in-depth hearing test. You're going to do what's called the Underwear Olympics. Now the Underwear Olympics is where you strip down, and trust me, males and females are completely separated. You're never going to see each other naked or anything crazy like that. But so if you're a male, you're going to be stripped down with all males in your underwear, and you're going to be doing mobility exercises. Now the most famous one is going to be the duck walk. That's where you crouch down into a low squat position and you walk around. You're going to do some simple other mobility things, some stretches to make sure that you are in fact fit enough to be able to go to boot camp and serve in whatever branch of it is that you're deciding to enlist into. You're also, once that portion is done, you're going to get a little bit more personal screening behind closed doors with a physician, and it's going to be like your typical sports. If you ever played sports, they're going to do a hernia check and a hemorrhoid check. They're going to ask you a few generic questions about injuries you may have sustained or anything along those lines. So just be completely honest with them. You know, if you have had an injury, that does not mean that that's going to disqualify you whatsoever. I had injuries that I did disclose, and I had all the information that they requested from my doctor, and it was cleared. So just because you may have been injured or you may have a certain circumstance that you don't want them to know about, you should just play it safe and tell them. If not, and they find out, that is going to cause some trouble down the road, and you can potentially get in some trouble and kicked out of the military for that. So just disclose whatever it is that you're kind of iffy about. So besides getting your physical and taking your ASVAB, you're going to do a few more things at MEPS. One of those things is you're going to go over your contract details with a liaison. A liaison is simply a branch representative. So they're basically kind of like another recruiter, but they're not out there getting people to join. Your recruiter brought you in, and now they're going to talk to you about some job opportunities. Maybe so, like let's say for the Army, for instance, you might be able to talk yourself into getting airborne or air assault or ranger school or something cool along those lines. They're going to talk to you a little bit more about jobs. They're going to look at your ASVAB score, see what you qualify for, and the liaison and the recruiter and yourself are going to try to work it out to where you get the job and possibly schools like Airborne added into your contract if possible. One thing that they're really going to shove down your throat, especially when you go to MEPS the second time. So the first time is your physical and your ASVAB. The second time, you're going to get, I believe, I got a very short physical again, but nothing, no underwear Olympics, none of that, just like a simple blood pressure. How are you doing today? Are you okay? That kind of a thing. And then you're going to do what's called swearing in. You may have seen pictures and videos of it where you stand, you give an oath, you raise your right hand, and basically you swear to defend the nation. And then you ship off to boot camp. Okay, so there is no, after the second time, typically it only takes 2 times to go to MEPS. The second time, you're off. That's the real deal. The first time, you're going to go home and, you know, meet with your recruiter and do whatever it was you were doing previously that day. But the moment of truth is what I'm trying to talk to you about. So the moment of truth is basically you not disclosing things that you need to disclose. That's why I said it's so important that you disclose things, because if you don't, let's say you don't even disclose it at MEPS and they ship you off to boot camp. When you get to basic training or boot camp, they're going to do another moment of truth. And they're going to scare you with this a little bit. And if you tell them things that you didn't tell MEPS, that is just adding unnecessary risks to your career. So be completely honest, tell MEPS everything. That way when you get to boot camp and they do another moment of truth, there's nothing to hide. You've already disclosed what you needed to disclose. Okay, so once again, ASVAB, physical, you're going to do a moment of truth, you're going to swear in. Then from there, if everything is good to go, you're going to go straight to boot camp from there. They're going to put you in a shuttle. They're going to give you an itinerary and a plane ticket. And you're going to go to whatever airport is nearby. And, you know, bon voyage, that's your ticket out of there. And you're going to begin recruit training or boot camp, basic training, whatever you want to call it. You can, so the second time that you do go to MEPS, or this is the real deal, this is when you're shipping out, you are allowed to have family come and witness it. They can take pictures of you swearing in. They can be with you up until the point that you leave on the airplane. There's nothing against that whatsoever. Personally, I didn't have my family come for that. To me, it was not really a huge deal that I was swearing in or anything like that. But it's up to you. You can if that's what you would like to do. But that's basically MEPS in a nutshell. It's really not that horrible. Besides the physical, yes, they're going to do some blood work. So if you don't like needles, yeah, unfortunately, you do need to get stuck. You know, it's kind of uncomfortable, like when you're with a bunch of other dudes who are in their underwear just like you, and the room's freezing, and it just kind of sucks. But all in all, it's not that bad at all. Compared to basic training where you're showering with a bunch of other dudes, it's honestly not a big deal. So don't sweat it too much. Don't really believe the hype or the horror stories that you hear behind MEPS. Does the day kind of suck? Yeah, it kind of sucks. But honestly, it's not a huge deal. For those of you who are getting a security clearance, you might actually meet with a security clearance representative while you're there. They're going to ask you some questions if you've been out of the country, if you have a foreign bank account. They're going to ask you a list of questions, and that's to screen you to see if you're eligible for a clearance. Certain jobs require security clearances, other jobs don't, so that's just going to vary depending on what MOS you choose. But anyway, other than that, guys, there's really not a whole lot to talk about MEPS. If you have some more specific questions, as always, please comment below. I'll be sure to hit them up to the best of my ability. If I can't answer it with just a short comment, I'll be sure to make a video for you guys and explain it more in depth, whatever it is that you're looking for. Be sure to subscribe. Also follow my Instagram. That's more health and fitness based. So if you're looking to get in shape before basic training or before you enlist, please hit me up. Hit on my Instagram. Check it out. I think you guys really like it. All right. Have a good one, guys. Bye.